Okay, what's the big difference between this game and all the others?
It's pretty simple. 4 playable Spider-Man. That's the big difference. So what we decided to do was inspire ourselves with what's been done in the comics and bring up a game in which you get to play 4 different Spider-Man. We have the classic Amazing Spider-Man that everybody's come to love, the classic superhero. We have his younger counterpart, Ultimate Spider-Man, who's been running for quite a while, you know, back in the days, back in a few years ago. We then have Spider-Man Noir, which is a brand new series by Marvel. It's taking place in the 1930s, as if Peter Parker had gotten his powers back then. So we're taking that, transforming that into gameplay. And then we have Spider-Man 2099, which is Spider-Man in the future, inspired by the comics that, you know, was published during the 1990s.
How do you link all this together in a story?
Yes, so the story revolves around a mystical artifact known as the Tablet of Order and Chaos. That mystical artifact gets shattered at the beginning of the game. Actually, Spider-Man tries to prevent Mysterio, who is the main villain in the game, to steal it from a museum. So as they're fighting, unfortunately shatters it. The fragments are scattered across the multiple dimensions, and Madam Web, which is an important character, you know, in the Spider-Man universe, sort of like, you know, all-knowing, all-seeing type of character, tells him that he'll have to find a way to retrieve the fragments of the tablet. And so she recruits the help of all the other Spider-Men and all the other dimensions to retrieve them. And so the story goes in parallel. Each Spider-Man is doing his own thing, but each Spider-Man is aware of each other. So basically we have 3 acts. So in each act you get to choose 1 level of each dimension. Once you go through that, in any order you choose, then you move on to Act 2 and we move the story along and so forth.
Okay, so there is a lot of replayability then, because you can, when you replay the game, you can choose another dimension, if I understand it.
Yes, we have replayability big time. Well, the way it works is that, of course, we have you know, multiple level of difficulties to go through the game, but it's not just like going through the game by selecting the level of difficulty at the beginning of the game and having to complete all the way through. You can already select the level of difficulty you want to go through on each level. So let's say you complete the game on medium, you complete a level on medium, you can already jump into it on hard and try to get the best score possible, because we rate each level with medals, and you can only get the platinum medals by playing on hard. Also, we unlock different things depending on the level of difficulty, but not only that, we also have what we call the Web of Destiny. And in the Web of Destiny, we have 180 challenges scattered throughout the game, 15 in each level, and we sort of require the player to complete the game a certain way or fight a certain way. It serves as sort of our inner achievement system, if you will. So the more challenges you complete, the more moves you unlock, and the more cool stuff you unlock, like alternate suits, more combos, more powerful moves. And as you unlock them, then, you know, you become more powerful. So the players who actually want to see everything and become, you know, at the peak of the power of the character will have to play the game probably more than once.
What's the difference from a gameplay perspective between each Spider-Man?
Yes, so we wanted to make 4 games in one, sort of. So it was important for us to have distinction between the 4 universes. So Amazing Spider-Man, it's all about web-based combat. So the combat is unique to him. You're not going to see that anywhere else in the game. So it's all web-based combat. So you create basically giant shapes, giant weapons with the web. So you can, you know, generate, like, you can build giant hammers, maces, giant fists made out of web. You can grab pieces of the ground and swing them at the enemies. So it's all web-based combat. In Spider-Man Noir, it's all about stealth. So this time around, you don't fight the same way. You don't go there guns blazing. All the levels take place at night, so you really have to hug the shadows and take down the enemies one by one. So it's really a stealth game. Now, if we talk about Spider-Man 2099, we have some unique features like the free-falling sequences, base jumping actions where you'll be chasing after a villain in midair at high speed because he has web foils on his costume. That's totally exclusive to 2099. We also have what we call the accelerated vision, which is a feature that allows Spider-Man in the future to slow down everything around him while maintaining his own speed. So that's exclusive to this character. And then we have Ultimate Spider-Man, but this time he's wearing the black suit. So the black suit, you know, is the main feature of the Ultimate Dimension, because then you'll be, you know, tendrils and tentacles will be coming out of the suit, and also you'll have what we call the rage mode, which allows the character, the more you hit enemies and the more you're being hit, you trigger the rage mode and you activate the power of the black suit, and then you can, you know, unleash devastating attacks that will wipe the entire screen.
What sort of graphical engine have you used for the game?
Well, it's all in-house. So really early on, once we established that we wanted to have different art styles for each of the universes, we did a visual prototype to show that we could achieve it with our own engine. So there's nothing used from the outside world, if you will, no outsourcing of any type of technology. It's all done, it's all built in the house. And so for Amazing Spider-Man, we have sort of a tribute to vintage comic book look, vintage comic book, so it has this very vintage looking style, almost like a comic was brought to life. Ultimate Spider-Man this time around is all about contemporary comic book style, so it's all cel-shaded, bright, saturated. Then for Spider-Man Noir, it has this film noir treatment that we wanted to bring. And Spider-Man 2099, well, it's just this very futuristic rendering of New York City.
Okay, thank you. My last question is on what platform will we see the game, and when?
Yes. So the game, Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, will be released on Xbox 360, PS3, Nintendo Wii. There's also a DS version. In North America, it's coming on the September 7th. In Europe, it's September 10th. I appreciate it.